Hi, this is DarkFox127 and welcome to a video on a brand new mod that I've been working on for about a month. This is TLO, the Lost Observatories. Now, if you are active on my Discord or in the Twitch streams that I do, then you will have been aware of this for a little bit of time, and if not, this is going to be completely new to you, which I imagine in a lot of people's case, it will be completely new. So, what is the Lost Observatories, and can you explain exactly what's going on in terms of mod creation right now? Well, before I get into anything, I'm just going to say this video might be a little all over the place. You might find me wandering around and stuff sort of aimlessly as I try and explain and talk about this. It's kind of a complex idea, weird to get your head around, and I haven't worked out all these specifics just yet. Now, this mod is going to be hopefully extremely lore friendly. I want to really tie it into the lore instead of just adding my own sort of stuff into the game and making shit up as I go. I want to get something that can tie right into the lore and actually sort of add in little events of my own between what's happened in the past and then pull it into the future, if that can sort of make sense. So first of all, what is this mod? What are the Lost Observatories? The Lost Observatories are an idea that I came up with about 3 months ago, where I wanted numerous locations where you could visit, where you could get an amazing view over different areas of Skyrim. So whether it be in the snowy mountains, across the sort of forests around Riften, or underwater, which is just something awesome that I've wanted to do for ages. Never really got a mod for doing that. Oh, hi character. Nice of you to randomly kick in and spin. Anyway. So yeah, basically looking at different locations around the world and just having some spectacular views. But on top of that, I wanted something a little more. So something sort of quest related, something that you could go ahead and yet again you can achieve. Those of you that have downloaded any of my other mods will know that I always want you to work for whatever reward the mod gives you. So whether that be a player home or a weapon or whatever, I want you to sort of earn it, and this is going to be no different. Let's put to bed straight away, this is not a player home. It is not intended to be one. However, there may be elements in this mod eventually that will allow you to sort of treat it a little bit as a home, a place to come, a place to rest and store a few things. But its primary function is not to be a player home. So the Lost Observatories at the moment are 4 separate observatories where you will be able to find them and enter them, and you'll basically have to sort of unlock them. And they are different areas, like I say, around Skyrim, which give you some spectacular views. And on top of that, there'll be sort of a quest leading into it where there'll be some story regarding a snow elf that you are going to meet. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail there. What I will tell you is try and give you sort of a workup of how this is going to work. What's the start of the mod going to be like? Now, first of all, I've only done a bit of this mod. I've got one of the observatories partially created, and I've got this main interior cell done. So, to start with, you're going to be finding way shrines. So if you've seen mods out there with way shrines of Skyrim, sort of stuff like that, where it's like, oh, these way shrines, you can teleport between them, Dawn Guard style. It's going to be those sort of way shrines, but their function's going to be a little bit different. They're going to be teleporting you to a specific observatory. There will be 4 of them placed around Skyrim, and once you find one, it will throw you into this room. They will all throw you directly into this one room. And you'll think, well, why have I got to find all 4? Well, each of the way shrines that you discover are going to be for each observatory. Now, this is going to get a little confusing. I'm going to try my best to sort of explain the concept. Once you go through, let's say, the snow way shrine, it will throw you into here, and it will unlock the ability to travel through this main portal here, and you'll be able to go straight to the Snow Observatory. It will throw you into, it will actually throw you back into this room. I'll show you shortly. It will throw you back into this room, and then when you use this lift here, it will take you to that observatory. Now, once you go out and you find another way shrine, let's say you find the water way shrine, it will do the same. It will unlock the ability to activate this place to then teleport you through that main portal to the water observatory. And then when you use this lift, instead of going up into the snow observatory, it's going to go down into water. And they've got to go up or down depending on where the observatory that you're going to is. Is it in this up high, or is it down below? Where is it? Now, all of these observatory entrances, if you like, are all linked to this one room. You are in a single room and they all link to it. However, this room changes depending on which one you activate. Now, the way that you activate these, let me just go ahead and get my HUD back up. So let me do it. There we go. Actually, I better do help because it might be a bit different. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add myself Sparks in. And it is the same code for Special Edition. I would have known this off by heart because I've been adding it quite a bit. So for now, all the observatories are locked for testing purposes and the fact that I haven't actually set the scripting up. But what will happen is you'll have these blank tablets here. You can go up to them. They're not so blank, actually, when you look up to them. You'll be able to make out some writing very roughly. When you activate these, you'll get a translation. Now, this translation is going to be more sort of based around this when I get round to it, where you won't be able to read this unless you can understand some Snow Elf. So whether you be the Dragonborn or something else with like an alternate start mod, you're going to have to find a book or complete a quest that will allow you to get the basics of the language so that you know what these say. Otherwise, you can't do anything with it if you don't understand what they say. So that one is for Forest. Now, first of all, I'm going to say that at the moment we are in the Snow Observatory sort of link, if you will. We're not in the observatory itself. Not yet. This is sort of a section that leads to it. So if you look out here, it's all sort of snowy and nice and pretty. In fact, there's supposed to be a snow effect there. That's interesting. Probably Special Edition being weird. But we're in the snow place. So remember that when you looked out that window, it was snow. So I've gone and struck this. We're going to the forest section now. And when you come through here, it throws you straight back out. And at first you think, what the hell's going on? That hasn't done anything. But if you now come around here, oh, I'm just hoping that the scripting's actually working because it's acting a little strange at the moment. Yeah, there we go. It is working. Oh. Alright, so you'll see that now this is lit up. These four represent the places that you want to go to. So you hit them and the writing has lit up to say, this is where this portal is going to send you. It's going to send you to the forest one. The one that is lit up over here is going to be the one that you are currently in. So we know that we're currently in the forest. So if I was to say, all right, I want to set that up to go into the snow place again, but we're still in the forest. So I'll know that I'm in the forest observatory section there and I'm ready to go to the snow place, right? This portal here, this is going to throw you out to the way shrine linked to whatever one you're currently in. So this is set to forest. I'll get thrown out to the forest way shrine as long as I've unlocked it. That is going to switch depending on which one we want to go to. That portal I'll get to later. Coming through here, you think it's all pretty much the same, but the room has actually changed. Now, if I was to drop a weapon in here and I come back, that weapon's still going to be there. We are in the same place, but at the same time, it changes. It's kind of a weird thing. It's like a Doctor Who style thing. Very confusing. You can see it's actually now forest out there, and the windows will start repositioning for different ones. So if I just go to the water one now, the one for stars is currently not complete, so I can't show you that. We go through, it seems to be the same place yet again, but it really isn't. So if we go over, you'll see those windows seem to have disappeared. And if we look to the other side, we are now looking through to underwater. Now do keep in mind, this looks terrible at the moment and it's not entirely fooling you because, like I say, it's not finished. But you get the idea. You see fish, you see underwater, you see coolness. Now around that corner is something else, which I'm not going to show in this video. And I don't think I'm going to bother to explain. But that's a custom rug, by the way. I went ahead and made that. So you get the idea. So what happens is I'm currently selected for water. When I activate that lift, I am sent down into the water observatory. However, I only so far have the one observatory linked up. So that one is snow. So if I activate that and I go through and come back and activate that lift, it's going to take me up. Now, one thing to note is that looks very weird there. What it is that effect is only going to be there once the lift starts moving up, as if it's sort of the power to push it and to lower it down when it comes back down. So that's not scripted yet. There's a lot of this not scripted. Some of it's just not finished. Now, what I'll do is I can activate that lift. That will take me up to the observatory. But before I do that, I will quickly explain what this one is for. This one's pretty cool. This portal is locked to begin with. You have to get the ability to unlock this. So all of this, you're going to have to find things to like power things up and unlock all the secrets of this place. But this works similar. You go ahead and you strike whatever location you want to go to. You can just about make out that it's Dawnstar, Falkreath, Markarth, Morthal, Riften, Solitude, Whiterun, Windhelm, Winterhold, and even Solstheim. Some of these are going to be locked up until you've progressed through certain quest lines, because obviously you don't want to jump straight into Solstheim before you've actually unlocked the damn place, before you've even visited there. So that will sort of be locked up. You won't be able to go there. But yeah, you'll be able to hit whatever place you want to go to. So if I wanted to travel to, let's see, what's not going to kill my performance? Let's travel to Morthal, shall we? So I'm just going to go ahead and cheat and unlock this door so I can get in. So whatever one's lit is where this portal will send you. Now, you'll probably recognise this. This is very Corinthia Tower Reborn-like. However, they work differently. Instead of activating them on the ground, being all weird, or having menu systems, this is all very, very seamless. It's very, very immersive, much more immersive. So you just walk into it, and then you'll be teleported. You'll also get a very fast autosave. At least it'll be pretty quick on Special Edition. It's a bit slower on Legacy. But this will hopefully take us to Morthal. So, a couple of seconds. And you are teleported to that location. So, really cool. Very Corinthia Tower Reborn-like, just sort of very much improved. Whoops, if I could spell interior. So, let's go back to the interior. And now we get thrown right back. So, well, we don't. I cheated to get in. But anyway, okay, so that one's pretty obvious, pretty easy, pretty cool. Hopefully that one makes sense. So just to clarify, that will switch you between where this lift is going to take you essentially, which observatory. That one throws you out to the relevant way shrine to whatever observatory setup you're currently in. And this lift is going to go ahead and send me up. So before I go up, I'm going to just explain a little bit more about what this is all about. Where have these observatories come from, and why would they appear out of nowhere? Well, they're called the Lost Observatories. Now that means that in true Corinthia Tower Reborn style, I know I've borrowed a couple of things from the mod, but it's going to be very different, don't worry. In CTR style, they are invisible. They are not going to be there to begin with. You aren't going to be able to see them at all from the outside world. So across Tamriel, you look up, you're not going to be able to see these things. Now they are small, sort of dome-shaped structures, and thanks to Holgarth's amazing little resource for additional snow elf stuff, I've done a lot of work on fixing a few that had some issues with UV maps and such, and I have adapted them to my needs, and we've got these really, really cool little structures. You won't be able to see them, like I say, from the outside. The idea is that they are sort of very magically cloaked. So this is where we can bend some magic lore, I suppose. They are cloaked in a sort of way so that you can see outward from them. You can see them when you're inside them, and you can even see them when you head out to the small balcony on each one and look back. However, there's sort of a bubble around it that prevents anybody from looking at them from around Tamriel, but you can look out. That's the whole idea. It's sort of anyone who has seen Star Trek Insurrection, the start of that movie, there is a structure up in the mountainside which is essentially cloaked, and you can see out of it, but nobody can see that it's there. And then at some point something's done. I think it gets struck by something, if I remember correctly, and then it's made visible, and then everyone's like, holy shit, what is that? But anyway, that's what these are essentially going to be. So there's going to be two that are probably going to be up in mountains. This one that I'm going to show you in a moment is, and there are two others. One is going to be sort of up in the stars. I haven't figured that out just yet. And the other one is going to be deep underwater, which is going to be interesting. So they're going to be really cool. Oh, for God's sake, I wish you'd stop doing that. So The reason for these observatories is that a snow elf, at some time after all the crazy wars going on with the snow elves, where they were getting pushed out of Skyrim because they were quite the common race in Skyrim some years ago, or even centuries, I think. Can't quite remember. I'm trying to think off the top of my head the lore that I read about a week ago. The snow elves eventually got driven, well, not really driven underground, but they had to seek refuge with the Dwemer, and then they forced them to eat this horrible fungus planty stuff, which turned them into the Falmer, and then they're stuck underground and pretty much crazy. They're just Falmer now, they're not really snow elves. But before that happened, there are a bunch of snow elves which pretty much disbanded, disappeared, went into hiding, and nobody knows where they are, or how many exist, how many of them escaped and such. So one of those snow elves I am going to set up as nearing the end of the wars, or during the effort of one of the wars that the snow elves had. This one snow elf, who was pretty smart, decided to set up these observatories to hopefully assist with looking over the battlefield and giving a good tactical advantage, and being able to look over big sections of Skyrim and see exactly what's going on. Pretty much have eyes in certain locations, as well as other things. They'll have to make up a reason as to why you had one underwater and why one is up in the stars. So I'm going to tie it in with sort of to do with war efforts, as well as just general exploration and a place to go into hiding afterwards. Now, one thing I will tell you is the snow elf is going to be in this mod, and he's going to be frozen. He's essentially frozen in time. Whatever reason, I don't know just yet. I don't know whether it's going to be that he did it himself, in the hopes that somebody would then come back some years later when shit's cooled down and whatever's happened with Skyrim, and that somebody will unfreeze him. Or that there was a freak accident and he never quite finished the observatories, or all the observatories, and something happened that caused him to freeze, and then you sort of unfreeze him, and then you can sort of talk to him or whatever. I haven't quite decided that just yet, but yeah, that's the general idea. So these were built for a specific purpose, and now you're going to use them as a place to come, a place to check out Skyrim, just something really cool, and it's just a quest. It's going to be a really more of an experience, but you will be able to use them, like I said earlier, for other means. So let's get to the really, really cool bit now, shall we? Let's get to the meat of this mod. This is really going to be the only interior cell. Everything else is going to be based in the exterior. So this is running in Special Edition, and it means that the occlusion for rain and stuff like that is not going to be a problem. Now, I'm hopefully going to code that in for the observatories in Legacy, so we'll have to see. But I'm going to show you what one of the observatories is like, and I hope you're going to like it. So let's go ahead and make our way to the Snow Observatory. Now, this lift, pretty cool. You've got to be careful not to fall off and stuff. I might well disable player controls. I'm looking at doing the sort of fancy AI thing where it moves you onto it and doesn't let you move. You look up, that view used to be a hell of a lot better. Those that watched the Twitch stream the other day, from when I've uploaded this video, some days ago, a couple of days ago maybe it was even yesterday, I don't even remember, you would have seen a totally different version of this observatory. You would have seen the version that was a big square room with nice glass windows, but it kind of didn't exactly work. This time around, I have made something a heck of a lot better. It's a lot more impressive, and it is quite the view when you look out these windows. So if we go over here, you can actually look out to the Shrine of Azura, which is just awesome. And if we just go out the other side, which is a better view in my opinion, you can see out to a load of Skyrim. Now obviously on Legacy Edition, you're probably going to want to go ahead and install a bunch of distance mods, and in fact I probably need one for this because it looks like crap if I'm honest. But if you've got the right mods on, if you've got the rig for it, this is going to look amazing, hopefully. And this is without EMBs and all that stuff piled on top of Special Edition. So there is going to be a collection of other stuff in here as well, which is nice. You can keep jumping, head back up the stairs. The steps are a bit wonky at the moment. Head up the stairs, you do have a doorway out to a balcony. you can get a much better view up here as well. You've got all this wonderful sort of glass and such. Actually, I think the view's probably better from the bottom bit, but you can see into the sky and everything. This will be good for when it's night time and you've got the stars out and everything. Now, I'm just going to cheat my way through this door, but I'm not going to look back because the exterior is currently a little wonky. Because I will be giving you the option to allow these to be visible, because I think it will be quite special if you could look up and see these in the mountains, but that'll be personal preference. So you do get this wonderful little balcony here, which is quite awesome. I'll probably put like seating up here and stuff like that, so you can really just enjoy the view and enjoy being up here. And I'm going to walk backwards out, because if I turn around, it's quite horrific. Otherwise, there we go. I think I just saw into the back of my own head. There we go. So if I just wait around, and if we get lucky, we'll get some stars or something, which would be really nice. We'll get a really, really nice evening. Oh, yes, we've got lucky, all right. So then you can look up at night time, and you can view the stars. And it is quite the sight to see. It is beautiful. Now, the lighting will eventually be done as well, so we'll get a nice blue light shining down here, which will be toggleable. You'll be able to turn the lighting on and off. I'm going to make this quite cozy. And it's going to be great. Realise that's a nasty shadow coming off that. I think I can probably make that go away, actually. But yeah, that is quite the view to look out to Skyrim and see that sky above it and all the stars. And that is what the Lost Observatories is all about. Hopefully I've done a decent job of explaining somewhat what it's all going to be for, what it's all about. The point of coming here. The point of the observatories, well, I'll leave that to you. Is this something you'd want in your game? Let me know in the comment section down below if this is something that you'd be excited to play and view. Especially when I get a sort of underwater section done too. Which hopefully isn't going to be too difficult. There we go. That is the first look at the Lost Observatories. And there is going to be more to come soon. And that is it for this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments section below. You can, of course, check out the rest of my work over on my website at www.darkfox127.co.uk. And be sure to go over and check out my Twitch streams. I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, where I'll be working on this and the rest of Project Modularity related content, such as Claywater Retreat. It's 8 PM UK time in the evening. So please feel free to check that out if you want to see more of this. You can, of course, join the community Discord where we have over 200 members. You can talk about Skyrim, talk about modding, get a lot more of this stuff that'll be posted in the Forge as I'm creating it. And there's all sorts of other good stuff over there as well. And be sure to check out all the links on my website for the social media and such so you don't miss a thing. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.